Hi, I'm Justin.
I'm Avi.
And I'm Daniel. Welcome to Tea Club for Men. Today we're going to be talking about Pu-Erh tea. I got some tea over here.
That's right, it's not a box of chocolates. That's a box of Pu-Erh tea, straight from China.
Yep.
So, did you go to China to get this, or did you just go downtown to Chinatown?
No, well, it would be cool if I went to Chinatown, but it's even cooler in that my wife's cousin is a guy who goes to China a lot, and he used to live in China for a couple of years. And he brought me back some Pu-Erh tea. I'm really excited to try it out.
I am as well. I've not really had Pu-Erh tea, and it's a very common tea in China. It's really the people's tea. It would be how I would describe it.
And this is such a nice box, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It even came with like a little bag.
Oh, yeah.
Bag.
it's got a magnetized little thing over there.
Yeah,
I
really
like
fancy.
that.
I think
like
this is
that.
Chinese. He even got it inscribed. It says Tea Club for Men.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So we made it in China now.
We've arrived.
Basically.
Cool. Tea Club for Men. I dig it.
So let's take a look at this actually, because as opposed to regular loose leaf tea, the Pu-Erh tea traditionally comes as a brick, and this is because historically, you know, this tea would be traveling great distances.
There you go.
And
It's like a little cake.
that's right, they're little cakes, and it made it much easier for people to really distribute. So something I've learned about the Pu-Erh recently is that it's actually a slightly fermented tea.
Yeah.
So the tea is left to oxidize for quite a bit, and there's a level of fermentation that goes on, which alters the taste drastically. It also allows for a much larger shelf life than regular tea.
Yeah.
Daniel, you said that this tea, I believe, was harvested in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, this is like a little. When you go to like a restaurant, it has like a little label. It tells you a little bit about the tea.
Right.
Now, while my Chinese is a little shaky,
Yeah.
I will interpret.
Okay.
It says something, 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 something.
Right.
50% 1995
Got it.
and 10% 1999.
So this is purely a Clinton era tea.
That's right.
Okay, good. I was
Good
just making sure.
There is a lot of, I think there's about 40% unaccounted for, so that could be a little bit more recent.
But what else isn't from China?
Right.
You know what? I'll settle for 60%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good enough with 60%.
I'm okay with 62.
That's a majority, definitely.
So what do you say?
Well, I'm just wondering, with the 95 and the 99, do they have vintages? Like wine has a vintage. I wonder
Yeah,
if
I
like
think-
Pu-Erh tea has like vintages.
I think the more fermented a tea is, the better or more Pu-Erh-ish it tastes.
Right.
That makes sense.
Now my experience based on scent and really just basic tasting is that it's a very earthy taste, and it's because they like buried in the ground to ferment it, to have that process going on, and as such, the way to prepare it is a little bit special, as opposed to most like bag teas or loose leaf teas.
Take us through it, won't you, Daniel?
Oh, absolutely, my pleasure. So what you do is you have our little cake over here, right? And I mean, this is a big cake. I mean, I've seen bigger ones.
Sure.
But size doesn't matter. It's all about the flavor.
Right.
So what you do is you just break off a little piece, not even that much. You break off a little piece.
Yeah, we got some broken off already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing just a pinchful, right?
Yeah. Let me grab the tea.
Okay.
Tea kettle.
Okay.
That's
Is this too much?
it might be a little much. So
Right.
even that much.
So I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. This mug has a little storage shelf that I'm going to put in the extra Pu-Erh.
Put that there for later.
Okay.
That's for seconds. So just drop it in?
Well, yeah. No, I was gonna say what we need to do is we need to steep it.
Okay.
We do first flush is about 15 or 20 seconds just to get that initial dirt flavor and the strong flavor out of that. Afterwards, you let it steep for maybe 30 seconds or a minute, and then it's really because it's so fermented. It's waiting to you're waiting to drink it, but you wait too long and it's gonna become bitter. So it's one of those things where there's a fine line.
So you don't want to drink it on the first flush.
No. Not recommended. You can if you're a ballsy person,
Right?
but I wouldn't recommend.
Do you want to do it?
I don't think any of us are that ballsy.
I'm not ready for that.
Nah.
You are wearing a leather jacket though. Let me go get some water.
Nice. So you want to, Dan? You want to break that up real nice in here, right?
So you're basically saying I didn't do a very good job.
Right. Justin, I'm not asking you. I'm asking Daniel.
Yikes. Blowing up spots on Tea Club for Men. Alright, so here I go, pouring it in.
Let me help you out here.
Yeah, sure.
Let's just close our Pu-Erh box.
and then pouring away. Oh man,
How's that smell?
That's good. I think that.
How is that?
Oof.
What do you think?
Smells strong.
Yeah. Yeah, it smells kind of dirty almost.
I would classify that as a like a reddish mud. There's definitely an earthy, an earthy flavor to it.
Oh, I probably poured too much. But anyway, we're gonna dump this out now that we've just steeped all of it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just pull that out so we can just.
Okay. So this flush we discard.
Yeah, it's sort of.
And it's already, you can't see it over there, but it's already like a mild sort of brown.
Yeah, and that's after no time at all.
No time. I mean, we're talking 10, 15
so,
seconds.
yeah.
We'll keep this for later.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. Alright. That's our hot thing of tea. Excuse me.
We gotta get a kitchen set up in here, I think. Yeah.
Be like Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Or something. And here we go.
Wait, do you want to pour that on the tea?
Yeah.
Okay, this is it.
This is
so this is the Showtime flush here.
Yes.
Alright. Good pouring, Dan. On a broken tea kettle. So I give you a lot of credit.
Thanks, sir.
So now we want to do it for about 30 seconds, you said?
Yes, something like that. 30 seconds to a minute, maybe.
Alright, you guys just hold on over there.
I would, let me see. This is our thing. We'll put it down there. So, you know, what are your predictions?
Well, I don't know much in the way of prediction yet, but I can tell you that already there seems to be a lot of stages involved in this tea making process. So I hope that there's some payoff in the taste.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, like just based off the smell, the initial smell, like I've had sort of green teas before where they're kind of like roasted, those sort of green teas. I feel like maybe it'll be sort of similar to that, where it's got that crunchy, earthy sort of feel to it, but maybe just like a little more extreme than that. You know, a little bit more earthy than that.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, I've had it before, but you know, this water is different. We're in a different place. Every water is different. The amount of
true.
tea
So
you put
from
in there
Brooklyn to Manhattan,
totally changes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's different amounts of water, different steep times, different amount of tea that you put in.
Right.
So I would say that it's probably gonna be a little earthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, there's a fine line. So it might be like smoky, or it might be too smoky. I'm gonna probably say that you know, it might be good, maybe a little bit different than what we're used to.
Okay.
Let's give it a shot.
I think 30 seconds has.
I'm glad that we're very excited about this tea.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. That's a.
Let me get a whiff of that, huh? Let's see. What do we got here? It's
strong.
It's strong.
Yeah.
It's strong.
So what is this generally used for? Like,
well, a lot of people, you know, because it's a very healthy tea, like Justin said, it's a people's tea. A lot of people use it after meals, or they'll use it for dieting, because I've actually had it after a Thanksgiving once, and it was really nice because that's like a Chinese tradition to have Pu-Erh tea after a fatty meal or a big meal.
It's a Chinese tradition to have Pu-Erh tea after Thanksgiving.
Well, wait a minute, that doesn't make too much sense now. But
Thanksgiving is actually an ancient Chinese tradition.
True fact. Look that up. TCM fact.
So you're saying that this tea may be best. Excuse me, may be best complementing a meal.
Yes.
As opposed to just drinking alone.
Correct.
But not during the meal necessarily.
No. I think after meal.
Sort of to let things settle.
It smells very, very, very like smoky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels pretty hot right now. I'm gonna have to wait a minute.
I don't want to drink it yet.
I don't know if you guys, if you have seen other tea club episodes, but there was a minor setback.
Cheers.
Let's see. All right. Way too hot. Way too hot.
That was peppermint?
I think that was the peppermint episode.
Peppermint.
I think there was more than one episode.
And there was a tongue burn, so we want to try to avoid that.
Cheers.
Cheers. So I dig it. I'll be honest. I like it. I can see how this goes well after a meal, especially since I just ate right before you guys started shooting.
Okay.
Right.
you know, I had a little bit of meatballs, some chicken.
Perfect.
And this goes well after that.
Oh, good.
It's good for digestion as well.
Yeah.
I also ate before I came down. I had mac and cheese.
Okay, delicious.
And it works well. I'll say that I'm more than pleasantly surprised.
Great.
By this tea. I'll even admit that I was kind of writing it off before we started it.
Right.
You know, I was prepared not to enjoy it. I thought it was going to be rough, and it's not what I would call a dessert tea.
Right.
It's definitely not a morning tea.
Yeah.
But I think after a meal in the evening, it would work quite well.
Okay.
It's you can really, it's kind of comforting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And maybe even familiar. That's how I would describe this
That's
tea.
interesting. I wanted, yeah, I would buy it right now. If you're trying to sell it to me, I would buy it. That's a good selling point.
I could give you some.
I'd rather buy it.
Okay.
It's that good.
Tea Club for Men, where people would rather buy things than have them given to them for free.
So I'm going to give a thumbs up on this tea.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
You know, the one thing I would say, I have had Pu-Erh tea before, and I think we were a little conservative on the steep time, the second steep time. I do know that, like, when I steeped it before for like a minute or two, it got a lot more earthy and a lot more like full-bodied.
Was it a little too much to handle at that point?
Just on the cusp of being too much to handle. It was like pretty intense. You know, you kind of had to pace yourself with it.
Yeah.
But it does, like, you know, I like what you're saying about having it be comfortable. It is kind of a nice, like, it just feels pretty good going down.
Yeah.
Especially like after, you know, like after you said having food and whatnot, it feels pretty good.
There's a lot of body to this tea, but it's still smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pu-Erh tea, a lot of body, but still smooth.
Yes.
I like that.
Well, boys, I think we found a winner.
Yeah. Well, don't forget to check us out on Twitter.
Yes.
Tea Club for Men?
At Tea Club for Men. Check us out on Facebook. I think we're on there as well.
We're on Facebook. I think we're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, we're hitting the social media scene hard.
We're on the internet.
We just found out about the internet, and we're on it.
That
We're on
sounds
it.
like
We're there.
email, right?
Yeah.
Use the Google and find us.
Okay.
And you could also email us
At this address.
yeah, check it out and email us. Give us your suggestions, your thoughts.
Have you ever tried Pu-Erh tea, guys? Anyone watching right now? If you have tried Pu-Erh,
Comments.
leave it in the comments.
Yeah,
Let us know
no.
what you thought. Have you ever had one of these, you know, from China? Maybe, you know, maybe I got hoodwinked and bamboozled and this is the cheap stuff and maybe you've had greater stuff. Who knows?
Check it out.
Yeah. Well, cheers to you out there in the internet land, and cheers, guys.
All right. Thank you.